Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh, the honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Shalom to the Akim, teaching his word, taught the four corners in true sincerity. Back on a lesson. This is by Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, winning, edifying us to the elect. Okay, the true name of God is Yahweh, which means he is or he exists. And his son's name, who the world calls Jesus, that's not his name, it's Yahweh Shai. Okay, which means he saves or he delivers. Alright. Salaki. Which means he saves or he delivers. You know, when the prophets of Yahweh Shem Shai, the prophets of God, have been sent out, okay, you know, throughout the four corners of the earth to teach the truth, to prophesy against this wicked, and I mean this very wicked, okay, society that pushes out sin, that tries to justify their sin, okay, by saying that, you know, we're under grace, but pick and choose what, you know, laws and statutes, commandments to follow, but when we're supposed to keep them all, you know, but all these things are going to come to naught in the future, okay, because Yahweh Shai is about to make his return. He's going to set order, you know, in the earth. Okay. You know, we're living in a time of great prophecy. As you can see, you know, wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, pestilences, prices of food going up, the price of living is getting harder and harder. You know, you have nations coming against each other, you know, hence the wars and rumors of wars with India, Israel, Ukraine, Russia. All right. The United States, you know, to prove that we're living in the last days. And the topic of this lesson is, you know, going into, you know, that how we cannot, you know, get, you know, comfortable. You know, we can't get comfortable, you know, in this life or in this world. Okay, especially, we know what's to come. All right. We know what's to come, the destruction, okay, of this very wicked society. Okay, this was talk about America, which is called Babylon, or Sodom and Gomorrah, or Egypt. Okay, you know, or the daughter of Babylon, you know, going to be destroyed by 200 million warheads, which the scriptures compare those warheads, you know, to arrows, according to Jeremiah the 50th chapter. Okay, so, you know, us knowing that, we cannot get comfortable or think that this is a place to stay, because again, this place is about to get destroyed. Okay, even before it gets destroyed, you know, we're gonna be painted as, you know, a terrorist, like even how they did Yahweh Shai, painted him in a very wrong image. Even all the, you know, majority of the prophets painted in a very wicked image, as them to be the bad guy, okay, blaming them, okay, for things that they had nothing to do with, or just, you know, them getting persecuted for just teaching the word. Because again, we live in a very wicked society, and really the majority of people not really gonna understand the things that we do. That's why we have to, you know, blend in a way, right? Let me, you know, get the scriptures. 2 Ezra 16:40. It says, "O my people, hear my word and make you ready to thy battle, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." So, you know, when you think about a pilgrim, you think about, you know, a man, okay, you know, that's on a journey, that's not here for a temporary, you know, stay. Okay. So in these last days, in these evil times, okay, we're gonna be as pilgrims, you know, on the move, you know, being X'd out, you know, have bounties on our heads for teaching the word. Okay, hence do not be comfortable. You know, you may have a job, you may have your wife, you may be living in your home with your children. Okay, but any day, you know, shit can hit the fan. That's why we have to prepare mentally. That's why we're mentally preparing ourselves, okay, while we're in this truth. Because again, very, very evil. A time like never before is about to happen on the face of the earth, but we just hope and pray that the Lord have mercy. All right. This reading the next verse. It says, "He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and him that buyeth, and him that buyeth as one that will lose." It says, "He that occupied merchandise as he that had no profit." It's like it. "And he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he that shall not reap. So that also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes." It says, "They that marry as they that shall get enough children, they that marry not as the widowers." So, really, it's going to, you have your possessions, if you even have women, if you have different things, if you have a business, working a job, okay, be as though that you don't have no attachment to it. Okay, because again, a number one thing about being a pilgrim, okay, you being on the move, so you may be at one place, then you may have to go somewhere else, and the things that you have, you can't take them. And especially in this truth, the things that we about to go through, us being X'd out, us being demonized and being painted in a false light. Okay, the things that we have, we can't take them, we can't have no attachment to them. Okay, one day we just might have to up and just go. Okay, leave certain things behind, like, damn, man, I got this business, man, I gotta, I can't lead this, I gotta submit to this system. Well, that can't be the case. If that's you, then this truth is not for you. Okay, this truth is not for you. All right, because any day, anything can happen at any moment. That's what we have to prepare for. I was talking about how we're gonna get demonized in Matthew 10, and we start at 16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore," it's like it, "be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." So going back to, blended in, Clark Clint. Okay, we have to move with wisdom. Okay, amongst the average person. Okay, we can't go about telling people what we do. Okay, that we teach on Saturdays or teach whenever at the week. Wear our fringes to work and shit. Okay, you gotta know how to deal. Because again, even people may have false conceptions, false assumptions about us. Okay, without really knowing, and they might try to come up against you to slog it. They might try to come up against you to put harm to you. Okay, so while we living in this time where things is kind of stable, you gotta move with you gotta move with wisdom, man. Cause you don't know what these people be on. They got demons on them as well. And shit, so we have to be wise. Be a regular. Even if you gotta blend in, not act like a nigga, but just be a regular person. Be like Scripture said, be peaceable with all men. Don't start nothing. Just just be go to work. Conversate with the zombies. Okay, and just go home, do the work. The Lord. Study, read the scriptures, make your lessons, go to camp. Very simple. We're very simple men. Okay, we're not doing too much, and we're not doing too little. Okay, we just simple. Work the truth. If you got wife, do what you got to do. If you got children, handle your responsibilities. Okay. It says, "But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles." Okay, you see, people are gonna deliver up to high officials. Again, because it's gonna be a bounty on our head. Okay, in the coming times, brothers have visions about them, people coming after them. Okay, them, having soldiers come after them, going into their homes, being tried or tortured and etc. By high officials, presidents, senators, even shit the Rothschilds. Just things, things to come in the future. All right. It says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you shall speak, for they shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. So even when we get in that position, okay, we can't be fearful. We gotta hold on to faith and believe in the Lord. Okay, the Lord may have it that you speak. It could the Spirit may be on you to speak or say something to curse them curse them devils out, or it may have it that you don't say nothing at all. Okay, but that's not a thing that we supposed to even worry about. Just when the Lord, be with us. It says, "But it's not you that speak, but the Spirit of your Father was speaking in you." It says, "But and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And he shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endures to the end shall be saved." So, again, we got to be prepared to be hated by basically everyone, even your own family. Okay, is going to ultimately rise up against you. Okay, and it's true. Our own family's going to rise up against us. Okay, for the why? For the truth. For the truth. To show you how serious this thing is. Okay, you may say hi, and not saying you don't be no demon to your parents. Okay, but that day may come where shit, they might sell you out. Okay, because they don't know. People, even with that, we all have instances. You tell your peoples or you tell your family about the truth, and they start scoffing, and they still probably scoff. They still try to laugh at you or what you do to this day, and shit, thinking that you in a cult and shit like that. But hey, man, this truth that we in, they always thought the men of the Lord was crazy. But hey, that's okay. Because hey, scripture say Matthew 5 and 10, it says, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake." Okay, so we're blessed. Okay, so when people laugh at us, they try to make jokes about the truth, or they try to even in this instance, they hate us. What's it called? Cause harm to us. And the men that were persecuted in times past, they're blessed because we gave everything for this truth. Okay, and that's one of the first steps when you come in. Your family is going to come up against you. That's going to be the number one. Your family is going to laugh at you, call you crazy, look at you weird, for just believing in the Bible. Tell them the truth about the Bible. Tell them that we're the true Israelites, the true name, the name of the Lord. How we start, the giving them the name, that we not just black, we ain't just coming on slave ships and shit. That we the true people. There's imposters in the land. We the true chosen, the true names. How the Lord is, so-called black man, etc. It starts there. Okay, but hey, when that time comes, when they put bounties on our heads and they see our face on the TV, wanted, dead or alive, or we might just say dead. Here $100,000 reward. Shit, they go come after you, right? It says, "Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you." Right? They even persecuted number one Yahushua. Our people came against Yahushua. Okay, and that's Yahushua. So how much more, us? They threw the men of the Lord in prison. They caused the men of the Lord to be persecuted. They try to kill Jeremiah. It's coming against Jeremiah to slay him. Okay. So that's just what comes with it. That's just what comes with being part of this. That's why the Lord puts a very cold, put a cold spirit that we don't give a fuck. Okay? Because we know that because we forsake all, that we're going to be rewarded. Like, you know what? Peter actually was shy. Matthew 19 and start 28. Well, I'm starting at 27. So then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? So we have forsaken everything, you know, for this truth. Okay, going back to not being comfortable. You know, we already forsook everything. Mentally, we forsaken all this bullshit. You know, we not trying to, you know, be multi-millionaires. We're not trying to build up a crazy business. Our main focus is, you know, pleasing the Lord. You know, because we fear the Lord. Okay, we love the Lord. And it says, and Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which followed me in a regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, he shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and last shall be first. So because of, you know, us forsaking everything, we're gonna receive it 100-fold. And Lord willing, we part of the elect. Okay, we're gonna be that governing body. Okay, you know, and people look at it so crazy, but you know, us doing this, it wasn't even, you know, hard. Like it was like kind of easy. You're like, oh, okay, you know, gotta forsake all this bullshit, because we already had that mindset that America was bullshit anyway. So us forsaking this and then going 100% for the Lord, people look at us crazy. All we doing is reading the Bible. Okay, telling our people that we the chosen, that we the Lord's favorite. Okay, again, the color of the Lord, the true names. People look at us crazy. Look at us crazy for trying to, you know, keep the law, statutes, commandments 100%. Like it's something wrong. Like, are you, like, you know, it's actually, it's very wicked. You are very wicked. And you know, you see it. Okay, it vexes you, but that's why we need Yahushua. Okay, you know, we trying to please the Lord as much as possible, keep the law, statutes, commandments. You know, we not getting tapes and shit. We not eating pork. Okay, we not celebrating certain holidays and etc. You know, because we understand that it's pagan. Okay, we don't eat certain things. We refrain from certain things because the Lord told us to in the law. People look at it as crazy. Like it's something so wrong with doing what the Lord told us to do, or told us not to do. You know, but with that little one, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, and the honor to the apostles and elders of the millstone, Shalom to the Akim, teaching the four corners in